When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep. I fall asleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll is getting small, I think of when I had none at all. And I fall asleep counting my blessings.
You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
What are we talking about?
Where'd that come from?
Most all of us use them every day.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means.
You know, we just say them as if they really made sense.
I mean, how silly is that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What the is he talking about?
Yo, what's good? What's up? How you doing? It's me, Mario, and welcome to the Appraise Show, Origins of Everyday Expressions, where we're here to do three things: unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of common everyday phrases. I'm never here alone, in spirit and in virtuality. 20 was good, bro.
Reality, brother. Constant quality.
In the factuality.
The whole episode. Actuality.
You dig?
What's going on, brother? What's going on, man? It's a good day. Happy to be here. Very, very happy to be here.
Very happy to be. Was that a reference or was that like? I mean, I know you're sincere.
You know what? It was just a wink. It was maybe not a reference, but just a wink to those who know I'm talking about.
And they should know. Shame on them. I say shame on them a lot. I'm watching the playbacks. Anyways, what's good, y'all? I'm happy today. I'm typically a happy man. I'm happy when I'm with 20. I'm happier today because long time coming. Y'all don't know really how long time coming because we are connected, bonded, have done great things already together, and we got to get on the screen and do what we do on this show with this guest that we have today. So let me not waste no more time. I'm pulling out, bringing out, calling out Dr. Shae. She out in Atlanta. We work with her with Lit Kids, but one of our favorite people, man. Dr. Shae, what's up?
Hey, y'all.
Oh, they loving you. They
loving you out there, man. They love you out there.
You know, I'm happy to be here. Mario, when you first reached out, I was like, yes, and yes. I miss y'all a lot.
Yeah. Hey, we miss you too.
I really do. I miss y'all. I'm like, man, when I get with y'all, it's always a good time. So.
It definitely is, man.
Yeah. And they gonna get
the crazy thing about it. My bad, Mario. The crazy thing about it is like we always like across the goddamn state. You know what I'm saying? We always across the goddamn America when we see each other.
Exactly.
All of us are East Coast bodies, but whenever we see each other, we on the West Coast.
Yeah. So we got to change that, man. Which we will.
Change that, man.
Yeah.
We will. So, Dr. Shae, tell the people, the listeners, and the viewers a little bit more about yourself.
Okay. So, I'll start with like professional, and then I'll talk about like who I am.
For sure.
So, I am a counseling psychologist here in Atlanta. I have my own private practice. So in private practice, I do a lot of like contract work, but I do individual therapy and psychological testing. Mm-hmm. So I primarily work with a lot of like families of color, but Black and African American families.
Heard that.
And out, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, a partner, but also a licensed realtor in Georgia as well.
Hey.
So I, we have like a family business, and I'll maybe talk about that if they come up. But other than that, I also have a children's book. That's important. Yes. So my son will be turning 3 the end of this week. Y'all, I cannot believe it. Can't believe it. Anyways, before while he was coming, I decided to write a coping book for kids. It's a coping skills book for kids.
Yeah.
So pretty much to help children, like introduce them to like emotional language, emotional regulation. So I like to I'm now kind of realizing that I just have an entrepreneurial spirit. So I have my hands in a lot of things. But originally from Birmingham, Alabama, that's home. But now reside in Atlanta, been here or outside of, like I say, the Atlanta metro area, but have been here for about almost 5 years now. So that's a little bit about me.
Hey.
You know, I get into a little bit more when we get in, you know.
Feel me? They like, yo, who you got on here today? Yeah, word.
Yeah.
Word. What's up, man? This feels like home, dog. Like 4 seasons in, bro. Yeah, we got like people that good, you know, like every guest is good. And but I'm from the school of you're allowed to have favorites. Like I will be a teacher that has favorite. I only have one child, so I ain't gotta nobody.
Hey, Mario.
Yeah, no, right.
I ain't gonna see my heart there. But this is one of my favorite people, and she's gonna be one of our favorite guests, man. So I think it's great because y'all heard what she does. I wonder if this phrase today has ever been said during your practice or during your parenting or in your relationship. So today, man, we're going to unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of count your blessings.
And then I'll explain that phrase.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do before all the way in.
Was that what you were looking for? Was that the button?
No, because I was already loaded up. You know that was.
I'm about to say, bro, you done played that. You done loaded that thing up so many times, dog. You done loaded that.
That's the one, man. I'm so proud of it.
That's the one, bro.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the step.
And it's sounding good on post.
I'm not gonna lie. It sounds good even when I listen to the song now. Now I can only hear that part in that song.
You're welcome, Kendrick. You're welcome. If you needed any more. So first, let's get into our connections to the phrase, our opinions of the phrase. I will pop us off. Count your blessings to me. I don't have a negative or positive view on it yet. I thought I was coming in relatively negative because of how people say it. And it's really just like a shut your mouth type of thing. Like, I don't think it's sincere a lot of the time, but my connection to it doesn't like really like resonate there. I just think it's legitimate, valid, and it can be useful. It can actually be useful. So I look forward to going through the journey with y'all, because when I was doing the research, I'm like, all right, this actually goes. So yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that.
20.
Oh man, it gives me super nostalgia, bro. Like when like my grandma used to say it. And when she would say it, it's because like when you're overlooking what you like, the good things that are happening in your life, and you're just focusing on the bad things. You get what I'm saying? Like say you have something that's just frustrating, it's frustrating you, and it's just consuming you. You get what I'm saying? And that's when, someone of more experience will come and be like, yo, man, just take a deep breath, count your blessings, and you'll realize that it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like you realize that you have a couple of great things to look forward to or to be appreciative for. So I feel like that's really how it hits me when someone says it. Like I don't hear it now. I definitely don't hear it now.
Yeah.
That's
which I have a theory about that.
Like younger, but it's always stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't tell you if I heard it since.
You know what it makes me think of?
What's up?
So there's and if he ever sees this episode, he's gonna be like, girl, you screwed this all the way up. But there's a stand-up that Mike Epps did, and he's like joking about, I can't even think of the name of the stand-up, but there's a part, and he's like, the joke is something about like everybody dropped their problems, and then when everybody looked around, people were stealing other people's problems. And it just, and the whole point was like, we think that like our problems are heavy or it's a lot, but then, you kind of realize that there are other people that wish they had our problems because, just what we're thinking about. So I always think about, when I hear that, I think about gratitude. So like a moment of like, okay, let me actually literally count, or maybe not literally, but let me think about, the things that I should gratify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that one, Shae. Like
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
No, yeah,
I can't wait for this definitions to tell us we've been wrong all these years.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Let's get into it then. Let's get into the definitions. Let's get into that. So typically, we do 2 or 3 definitions because we want to make sure that we're seeing like the whole gambit. So Merriam Websters, the brand, says that count your blessings is to make a special effort to appreciate the good things in one's life. That's what Merriam Webster says it is. Now, one more time, brother? To make a special effort to appreciate the good things in one's life.
Okay.
Special effort.
Yep. And that's what caught my ear too. And then Cambridge Dictionary, which is one of my favorite ones, says to be grateful for the good things in your life, often to stop yourself from becoming too unhappy about the bad things. So like it gives some of that like why you would even use it.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, Shae, pop us off. What are your thoughts on the differences between the two? What you thinking?
Well, so I just have to do my plug.
Please do.
Because it is June and June is about to wrap up, but this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
So, just putting it out there. But in terms of thinking about counting your blessings as it relates to mental health, is like I will pose the question, is like, if we didn't count our blessings, quote unquote, count our blessings, like what our mental health look like in the long run?
Right. Right. Because I was going to ask you about that, and it's like, is that condescending in that form?
I think gratifying things that bring value in your life is important.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's why I was like, I pointed out the part of what it said, is it special effort?
Special effort.
Yeah, because to me that just sounds like intentionality, right? I just need to be intentional around the things that bring value to me.
Yep.
So for example, and everybody has autonomy over determining like what that is for them. So if that's your children, it's like, okay, well, let me make a special effort to think about how much value this brings to me.
Right. Absolutely.
And because if we don't do that, then what? Then people probably end up feeling a lot of like resentfulness, anger, frustration, grief, because there's a lot of things we can grieve besides loved ones.
Right. I'm with you there. Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, that's where the only angle of like negativity that goes to me, like, is it used to patronize someone who's really going through something? And like, I gotta feel this right now before I can even go over there. You know what I'm saying?
Now, see, here's the thing. I think there's cultural context too, around like, because how this term or how the phrase shows up in different spaces, I think matters too.
I agree. 20, where you at, bro? Hold on, 20, where you at?
No, I'm just listening, man. I'm over here trying to get a free session over here, man.
You feel me? Like we kind of.
Sorry, 20.
I'm over here trying to get a free session over here, trying to find myself, my inner self. You know what I'm saying? No. Seriously, I
with the definitions,
the definitions. No. The definitions, I feel like it strengthens a little bit how I feel about it. I'm glad that the definitions is pretty much on point with the way I was raised to kind of view it. Like it is a situation of just be appreciative of what you have, man. Just in general. Yeah. I think both of them kind of hit that, even though one kind of makes it seem like, you shouldn't, like you said, you shouldn't feel that way. And that's so hard to kind of tell someone that you shouldn't feel that way because you have so much more.
It's invalidating.
Yeah,
exactly.
The negative side of it, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's Cambridge going to give you that real.
Thank you. That's why I like
that real. I feel like that's why it's like it also kind of feels like that. I think it's the two definitions are probably the most similar definitions. Just one is giving you that unfluffed realness. Like, look, bro, you have so many things over here. You shouldn't be feeling like that. And sometimes you need that. But also sometimes you need someone to say, you know what, I understand how you're feeling right now, but look at the things that you have, and hopefully that'll make you feel better about it.
Right. I'm with you.
So I think sometimes how people might experience it is like when I'm saying that, like if I'm saying like count your blessings, like I'm trying to affirm that, like, man, you got other things to be happy about, you know?
Right.
But then in the midst of that, I'm also invalidating, but shit, I got other things that's like heavy on me too.
Yeah.
You know? So it like, okay, I'm struggling. I'm like processing this too. Like, okay, I see.
You feel what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
because I am a glass half fuller. I really believe everything that's good that happens in the world is also going to happen to me. Like, I don't have that. So I used to, my younger days, like, I wasn't like toxic positivity, but like I can see it quick. I can see like the I don't like silver linings, but I can get back to like what I got to move from. Like that, I can count my blessings. But what I've seen is like the effort it takes to count them might be the energy I don't have at the moment. Like, I'm not even mad that you're telling me that. It's that if I respect you and I listen to you, damn, like it takes actual energy to start counting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel for that. I feel for that.
And you know what? Honestly, I think it's more about the energy that brings it on. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have an energy of, man, this dude crying too much, then that's a totally different empathy. If you're empathizing, then I said that right, then that the way you say it will be totally different as someone who's annoyed or someone who's frustrated because of like the way you are. You get what I mean? So I feel like the energy has something to do with the way it's received, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying it and meaning it the same way every time.
Gotcha. Don't let me digress too much. Sorry, Dr. Shae. Real quick. Okay, now you go ahead because I'm about to go on a little bit left. So if you stay in the course, go. Because I was about to go.
Well, I was, what I was sitting here thinking is like, I obviously don't have the experience of a Black man, but I can see how like that, somebody giving that message to me as a Black man who are often like, there's just we're trying to get better, but there's no space for Black men to be like emotionally vulnerable. Like, it's just, so then when like even small statements like count your blessings, it's like those are like very subtle ways to invalidate Black men's experiences. Right. Even though that might not be the intentionality, but I'm digesting this one. I'm processing it.
Yeah, keep going. I'm with you. Look, so as you're thinking, and before we get into the origin, I'll let y'all answer. I won't let us get too far off, but as y'all was talking and then y'all talking about like the intentionality, the energy behind it, I got to thinking like, because I'm calling back a phrase from season 1. Does this count? Like, because people say actions speak louder than words, but like the act of trying to validate, like the words actually matter more than the action here. Does that count? I don't know, because I'm on the side, like people be saying actions speak louder than words, like words don't matter, and I be on the side like, dog, they may be louder, but they're louder only because you're comparing them to the words. Anyway, I don't know. Okay.
Mario. And instead of coffee, I probably should have had a little
tequila.
Right.
No, this one honestly, I didn't expect. I'm down to hear the origin, man, because I didn't expect like it's like the more we talk about it, the more it goes from a positive to more like neutral / negative type of vibe, especially nowadays when, like you say, Shae, like I'm sorry, Dr. Shae,
spent that time.
Listen, like from a mental health aspect, it kind of is like there's no way of ignoring that now because that is so valuable in life, to the point where, man, is this phrase helping? Is it really helping or not?
That's
is it really helping to say?
I would be happy at the end of this episode. We can't answer that for all, but I think if we can find an answer for that, I will be happy. I'm not saying there is an answer because I slightly remember the research, but here we go. We're gonna go on a journey now. Let's get it.
Where'd that come from?
Okay. Pull up my little. All right. So, the earliest instance of a reference to counting one's blessings that we could find is from Harriett Martineau, and it's from The Tale of Tyne. That's in 1833, so it's a while back. And it appears in a part of a comparison where it says, in 10 minutes more, Mr. Servant left her, fully convinced that it would be much easier to count her troubles than her blessings, and that Providence has a wise and kind purpose in all that it inflicts. That's the city that they were in the book. And that the best welcome she could offer her husband on his return would be the sight of what she had done in his absence for his sake. So like lining it up as he's gone, Providence in this story is like this place that like has some things going for it, but not a lot of things going for it. And in the 1800s, like whatever your husband was on, that's what you was on. And so you can't wallow.
That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm just kidding. It's always that one guy. It's always that one guy. Yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. We both cleaning chimneys. Yeah, hell
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, right.
Like you better. The best thing you can do is find what you like about your situation so you can make sure this house good when your husband come back. That's basically what he was saying. That's what the excerpt says. So where Contrablessings kind of comes from. So a Tale of Time by Harriett. Huh?
Hell no, wait. Okay, finish, Mario.
This is why it's important because I had to connect that. The very first time it was written, not the sentiment, but the very first time it was written in English with these words comes from a story of a man telling a woman in Providence, and Providence is going through its little shit in the town, and her husband gone, that you could probably count your troubles all day, but you won't get nothing done. You might as well count your blessings and make sure that you could offer your husband something on the return when he comes back for his sake. For his sake. Is what the origin. Okay, so A Tale of Time by Harriett Martineau is a novel set in the early 19th century during the Industrial Revolution. So it's kind of similar to what we're going through now, right? Like we have to figure this out. It's like a tech revolution, and we feeling the ill effects of it and some of the benefits. And the story revolves around the lives of working class families in Newcastle in England. And they're known for their coal mining and industry at the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So any thoughts before I keep going?
Oh, this is definitely turning more on a negative type of vibe. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is definitely it's hitting on the opposite side of all cylinders. Actually, how about that? Like it's hitting on all cylinders, but it's definitely on the opposite side of the cylinder that I thought it was.
Yeah, the Australian toilet going the other way, flush the other way.
That's exactly what it's doing right now.
Yeah, for sure.
That's exactly what it's doing.
All right, let me keep it going.
Steering wheels on the opposite
on the right side. We driving on the right side of the road. Goddamn. The novel portrays the social and economic conditions of the era, focusing on struggles and hardships faced by the people that live along the River Tyne, and it delves into the impact of industrialization on communities, highlighting issues such as poverty, labor conditions, and the effects of rapid urbanization. Now, if this don't sound familiar to y'all, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's during a time when it's hard for most people. Most people are in poverty. Labor is tough, hard to find a job, and things are quickly changing in your communities. So the author of this, Harriett Martineau, she was a socialist and a writer, and she used her work to explore themes of social justice and inequality. And A Tale of the Time, where this comes from, reflects her concerns about the plight of the working class and serves as a critique of the industrial society of her time. It provides insights into the human cost of industrial progress, the human cost, and the resilience of communities amidst challenging circumstances like these. I want to note, though, that Martineau would eventually consider herself an atheist over time. Eventually, she became an atheist. So, tossing this question up to y'all. So, Martineau seemed to have lost her, contrablessings attitude. She wrote this during the time where, you know what I'm saying? And then she expressed it in her novel as she walked down the path to eventual atheism. And so, have y'all, we'll start with you, Dr. Shae, have you experienced a moment where you grew tired of counting your blessings, and like what happened in that scenario?
Mario, I'll be honest, and this is my authentic answer. Okay.
Yep. Please.
And I think a lot of this is really just based on what is ingrained in me. I've had moments throughout like my life experience and where I'm struggling. Like I have moments like, and so I just want to share this. Like there are stats that's out there that pretty much says that like most of us, I think it's like 1 out of every 2 people will experience some type of depressive related episode at some point in their life experience. It's like half the people. I think the numbers are much higher, right? So what that means is like all of us are going to experience at some point, probably experience like forms of depression or something that happens, and we're trying to navigate or get like, we're like psychologically distressed. Okay.
Yep.
For me, I think that there's a lot of times where I saw my, and this is just an example, but my dad passed in 2017 and it was like a sudden death. Like, he wasn't sick, he wasn't ill or whatever. And then like the next month I started my PhD program and I just kind of kept going, I think that there is moments in my life where I feel I have had this experience where I want to feel like I want to feel grief or I want to feel down because I feel like that's appropriate, but I don't allow myself to do that because it's so ingrained in me.
To
count my blessings. I'm serious. So now this is like resonating with me like, that is something that has like I've been, because you constantly hear, I grew up in a Black Baptist church, right? I was a kid that was at church every Sunday and then was at Sunday school before church every Sunday, So there's like messages that you get, but like subtle messages, right? But now I'm sitting here thinking like it almost doesn't allow you. I see the benefits of it because there's a resiliency and a strength that I gain from it, but I'm also sitting here like, but have I been as a psychologist also invalidating some of my own personal experiences because I've been taught to count my blessings?
Yes.
Okay, now I gotta see.
There we go. Yep. There we go. 20. You got one?
I feel like.
Thank you.
I feel like. Yeah, I got. It's what reminds me more of it is like, say, you got full tank of gas. Bills are paid, food is in the fridge, all this good stuff, man. Then you open up your wallet and you're like, man, I got like $40 to $100 to my name right now. And it's like, yeah, you have a minimum amount of money to yourself, but everything else is taken care of. Like it's that I won't say a meme, but it's like that quote, like, yeah, you have all that, you're not broke, you're responsible. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes when you get in that situation where it's like, man, I got everything done, I got this, that, always done, but it's like, man, I want to go and do something, but I don't got it to do it. And it's just like, you dwell on what you don't have to do it, even though everything else in your life is situated. And it's like, that's one of those moments where I feel like, yeah, count your blessings. Yeah. But it's like, damn, I don't have anything for myself. So it's like, it's hard to sit there and count your blessings, but yet, you want to focus on things for yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
Mario, something I just was thinking, this is what I'm thinking about though. I'm sitting here going back and forth. I feel like I'm standing on a fence and I'm trying to determine like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it good?
Yeah.
Because I think a positive side of it is like, I get the part of like the part of the origin where it's like, well, it's really not effective to count your troubles. Like, what do you really, like, what is the outcome or what is birthed out of counting your troubles?
Right.
It's like, well, one is that I'm probably wasting time that if I'm in that situation, time that I really don't have because I'm so I'm wasting time unless I'm trying to be solution focused about it. Right. But in most cases, when I'm counting troubles or if I am that person, I'm probably not trying to find a solution. I'm just, excuse my language, but I'm like sitting in the shit,
Yeah.
So I'm not really being effective, not for like anybody else per se, but literally just for myself.
Right.
Like I'm not, so the idea is like, well, it's more beneficial to count, the things that are going well as opposed to things that's not going well, because in real time, like what does that actually do?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And that's I come from that school. That's actually like I resonate. It resonates with me.
I know where y'all coming from, so I can land on
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm coming. Like it resonates. The what you expressed about your experience about the not letting. My not letting usually came from, well, it's not gonna get the job done. And like when I'm coping, I've learned before I could name it, is like getting the job done is a part of my coping. Like if it's something that like I'm like, well, I need the outcome to I'm not gonna not have the thing and feel like this. Like I don't think that way, but like I think it's so subconscious. I'm like, okay, go find now it's solution time. Now it's solution time. Because, and I agree with you, sitting in it is the thing. Like on a lighter level, my experiences with this are all sports related for the most part, from the resiliency to like, I don't want to count my blessings of how close I got to being an NFL star. Like I don't want to, I want the money from it. I want the lifestyle from it. I want to take care of my people from it. I don't care that you think it's cool about how close I got. Like there's that, and there's the actual in the sport thing where you're like, to the point you were making, Dr. Shae, like if I think these sprints are stupid, or I know that they're going to be hard, how much does it serve me to spend any time acknowledging that they're hard? Am I going to not sprint or am I going to sprint? And I've had times in my college career, I don't know, you wasn't there, Dub. We were doing morning workouts, bro. We had 6 a.m. This is when Milo was here. You might have been here, actually. You might have been there. And OB, God rest his soul, man. He was getting it around them laps. And like I was considered a leader at the time. And so I'm like pacing in the front of the group, but I'm not like stunting on the group. But I'm fast, but I ain't got, like I'm faster than most people's fast, but I ain't like no long distance type of guy. So I'm like, I'm just trying to get through this 6 o'clock, get to my class, fake that, whatever. And he's hitting it. I'm like, what the? So I said, hey, man. Hey, what you training for Athens? you training for Athens, bro? And he was like, nah, bro. Like and he was a senior going into his senior. He was like, nah, bro. It's like it's time to grow up. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to count that it was that time. It was our turn to be the lead. I didn't feel like it at that time. I wanted to be. Yeah. It's 6 o'clock. I'm in the front. Like that's all I needed to do. You feel what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Yo, you know the crazy, not to even digress about this guy, but the crazy thing about OB is like he was one of those people that let you live, but when it was time to like evolve, he was the last person that you would think evolved. So when he put that on you, like when he put that like experience, that like realness on you, you had to like sit back and be like, yeah. Bro, what you're saying is 100% what you say right now, but you said it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like you said it, bro. Like you really put me on game right now. Like it's you the one. Like I had no idea.
You really gotta receive it.
Exactly.
Don't understand. The crazy thing about it is like that was who he was.
That's really who he was, right?
It wasn't a game. It wasn't a facade. It wasn't fake. Like Mario said, like he would be the last person you would think to remind you, like, yo, bro, it's our turn now.
Yeah.
But yet he's the person that's reminding you,
yes,
yo, it's our turn now.
Yes.
It's our turn now. Like it's just a remarkable person.
Yeah.
For whatever time at that time you needed him to be that person, he was always that person.
He was always 100% from the field.
And whatever person you needed for that moment. If it's somebody that like gave you like I don't care attitude, and that's what you needed at that moment, he was that person. If it was that person that gave you like it's gonna be okay, he was that person. He was that person like, yo, it's time to stop fucking around, let's get it done. He was that person. It was just like, damn, bro, you wear so many hats. You wear more hats than Mario. How about that?
That's a lot of hats.
That's a lot of hats.
That's a lot of hats. He wore more. He was more hats than Mario. And man, he's truly missed. Not just a friend, but as a person, a good human, a good human on this earth.
Damn, thank you for that. Shout out to Mama OB. All right, let's hit into the second part of the journey. I appreciate y'all, man. So the exact wording, count your blessing, first appears in the old Alan Gray, A Cheerful chapter, and this was in the Bible Class magazine, and this is 1851. Okay, about what's that? 18 years later, and it's a song. And it said, I'm not singing it, but it says, May Day is now come round again, and willingly would I have you as cheerful, as happy as those lighthearted girls. Why not? Surely when nature is rejoicing around you, you would not carry a face of gloom. In such a course, the sunny sky will bear witness against you. The trees will lift up their green leaf bows against you. Against is wild. And the glowing flowers will rise up in your path to reproach you, but not behindhand, to celebrate the general jubilee. Count your blessings. Reckon up your mercies so that you may mingle your note of thankfulness with those of the rejoicing spring. Let May Day be a day of happiness and praise. Now, May Day is a European festival. From the ancient origins, it's like marks the beginning of summer. So usually celebrated on the 1st of May. I used to love May Day when I was playing overseas because everybody was lit. Everybody was happy. You generally are supposed to be happy there. So, any thoughts on that song?
No, not really. I don't.
Yeah, I'm just pulling out.
I feel like it's in more songs, but if that's all they got, that's all they got.
That's all they got. Right. And it's just, for me, I'm just pulling out the, like, how it's used against you, reproach. It's just weird. But then there was another, The Art of Being Happy. And this came from somewhere in Michigan. I've never heard of this city in Michigan, dog. Like, Dowiak. So it must be UP. Cass County, Republican.
Where we at? You never heard of? Dog, where we at?
Dog, where we at? Dog, where we at, Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan, dog. Yeah, Michigan.
On January 6, 1859, it's all good. It came up here. It says, to all such unhappy people, we should say, study the art of being happy. Begin at once and take a better view of life. Count up your blessings, enumerate your friends, and compare them with the number of your enemies. Compare your condition with thousands who have no comforts, friends, or prospects. See whether your troubles are not all borrowed, whether they do not all come from false opinions or feelings or vanity or pride or selfishness. People can generally be happy if they try. Keep a sunny heart and life will be sunny.
Ooh.
So these two passages, like, they sound less like gratitude forward and more like you have no business being sad forward. Like, live a happy life. If you want a happy life, you can't be sad. So where y'all at with that? Like, do you like, you talked about this, Dr. Shae, like,
yeah,
how was that, like, forcing that sadness out or not letting yourself count your blessings? Like, explore that with us for a second.
Yeah. So, what I'm thinking about is really like a finding, and I think this is really contingent upon how everybody is, but everybody needs to find like their own balance, or at least for me, what I'm thinking about is I need to find a balance for me. It's like, how can I affirm like what is true, like the emotional experiences that I have that are true, and also be solution focused.
Yeah.
It's like, how can both of those things exist? And they can. Like, I want to make those two things coexist, because what I don't want to do is I want to be a person that is effective, sustainable, so that I can be that for everybody else.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The way that I can do that is by focusing on positivity. Yeah. Now, something that I'm thinking about too is that like the way that we think is a practice, like real, like that's so real. So like if I think in very like pessimistic or like negative ways, I'm, excuse my language. Mario told me I could say little cuss words.
Oh yeah, girl.
So I'm like, I'm just like, oh, I get to play. No, but I mean, when we're thinking in negative ways, we're damn near practicing how to think negatively. Because that's the way our brain, that's the way our brain works. So anything that I do, and I do it consistently, I'm probably going to get good at it. I might not be an expert at it, but I'll still get pretty decent at it, right? So for example, if I'm, thinking about my troubles all the time, then I'm probably going to get good at thinking about my troubles
all the time.
But if I'm actually practicing like moments of gratitude, they have these things where it's like stop in the morning and think about 3 things that make you happy before you start your day. There's like camps of like, they call it positive psychology and, all these basically camps of philosophies and things of practices of how you can live your life. And it makes sense because the idea is like, if I practice, because life is a practice. Everything we do is a practice. Like, when I'm turning a doorknob, that's a practice. Everything is And so the more consistent I am at this thing, that either indicates like my life being like more fulfilled or not.
Yeah. No,
and
I'm with you.
You know, that's what I'm thinking about. So I think the part of it, like I see the effectiveness of that.
Yeah, we're getting there. And that's where I'm at. I'm like, as long as we lay all the cards on the table, I think we will get to where this phrase needs to be. Because like pushing sadness out is actually a good thing. Like I don't want to like get to the, and this is where my balance of like meeting someone where they're at, not invalidating, which like has needed to be a practice for me. Cause like I said, in my life, when I cope, I get on the go. My fight or flight is fight. I'm going to do something.
Mario, can I jump in?
Yeah.
So this is what I think. I think that so most of us, including myself, like I'm putting myself on the stand because I'm an adult woman in a relationship, managing all these roles, but I still need work on emotional regulation. So a lot of us don't even touch emotions, especially when it comes to sadness, right? Because you were saying like push your sadness out. It's like, man, if the sadness came out, what the fuck am I going to do with it? Like, what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know how to like have an emotional experience.
Yes. Yes. I agree with that.
Like, and then, so we won't have it because we're not equipped to like, what do I do when I am angry? So most times it's like, well, I'm not effective when I'm angry. I'm not effective when I'm sad, you know? And it's like, no, we get to be sad. We just need to be effective. It like, let's have the experience, but then be effective from there. It's like, how can I channel this sadness into a way that like benefits me?
Absolutely. Like I really look at it like you have to feel it. What I learned like with grief is that like I gets to it. And sometimes I can use the relationship lens. I gets to it. Like I don't play around. So I grieve fast. And that's why I've learned like, okay, I had to, when I took a step back from solution oriented, I'm like, I like that because it gets me somewhere. Like it gets me somewhere. What I don't want to do is be somewhere and not be fully present is what I had to learn in my next couple years. So I'm like, how do I do that? Really like identify the grief. So I have no apprehension to grieving. I'm actually I probably like prematurely grieve, if anything. And like in relationships, like I'd be like, hey, I'm grieving right now. Actually, while you're looking at me. And it ain't even over yet. And then when it's over and I have my like, this is how it's over grief, then I gets to going and people are like, oh, you was just trying to be done. And I'm like, no.
Mark, we have to talk about this.
I'm saying, man, like I don't spend a lot of time outside of like what it is. I really try to be like, I want to know what I'm feeling, because I've also never been the type, and Dub 20 can attest to this. Like I will be angry when I feel like it. I will. I just don't hold it often, but I will do it. I'm angry, and I have this thing now, like with my mom, ever since I've been older, and we've gone through some things, especially like as a single dad. Like you go through some things, and you're like, I'm like, when I talk to my mom about it, I'm like, Mom, I'm mad. Like there's nothing I'm mad about it, is what I'm telling you. Like it's not, I'm not sorting this feeling out. What you're hearing is that I'm mad about it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I get down, and I get right to the grief. So when I say push it out, like get to it, like push it through, don't let it sit there. Like cobwebs on grief, cobwebs on sadness does no good, man. That's what I think. So.
No, that's definitely, I think that's why we get along, bro, because I'm like that too as well. Let's get it out right now and get over it. So we both know, even if it lingers, we both.
So are y'all like that about conflict?
I love conflict. I don't want to say I love conflict, but I pivot towards it. I learned that part of my football career. Like I was a kick returner. Like that's conflict. There's got 11 heads coming at you. Like you have to choose to go towards it. You can't watch it come at you. You can't go the other way. And that's kind of how I am in life. Like once I decide I had one story, I'll give y'all this story. My bad. And I'll move to the next thing. So when it had to be like between 6 and 8. And in the neighborhood, Detroit, right? So we had a neighborhood next to us called Wyandotte in Southwest. And that's where a lot of white folks are. Now there was some white kids playing basketball. Like I used to be outside all the time. So I'm hooping. I was always a naturally good athlete, but I was always like undersized. or relatively regular size. So I'm balling, boo. I'm with the white kids today hooping. This one white kid from Wyandotte comes and he's sized up for like 6 to 8. Sized up. Pretty good athlete. So we going toe for toe. Boom, boom. And I don't really talk until 20 said it in the what was it, Toot Your Own Horn season 2. He said, I don't really toot my own horn unless you come incorrect or you come correct. Either one. So if you come to me incorrect, I'm going to start back, and I'm really good at it. So, you know, something's happening. So I'm replying, and I don't think he's used to people replying. So he walks over and he says, you do that again, and I'm throwing you in them bushes over there. And I just stared at him, and I could hear like the kids oohing, and it felt like the longest 4 or 5 seconds of my life. And I knew right there, I'll never let that happen again. And now, if you never knew, Dub, that's why I sprint towards it. I sprint towards conflict. Like,
bro, not the nigga threatening to throw you
in the bushes, G. Like, that's the most disrespectful thing you can do to a kid. Like, you in the bushes.
Oh yeah. That's what I said. That's why I'm like, bro, as a jit, bro, nobody want to get thrown in no bushes, bro. Like, beat me, hit me. Hit me. Just don't throw me in no goddamn bushes, bro. I'll never recover.
I'll never recover from that.
Ever in my life.
The hit, but not the bushes.
Not the bushes,
Ever in my
dog.
life,
No.
bro. When you get to, and then you got you got on shorts and the bush scratch you a little bit.
You done like you done for the day. You done for the day, and you got to explain that one a little different at home.
Yeah.
So that's why, Dr. Shae, like, that's why I go towards conflict. I don't mind conflict. I'm with it. And what I've learned over time.
Skill set, though. That's a skill set. That's a skill set.
I fuck with it because now, like, I'm leaning into my kindness now. So it's like I'm coming with conflict, and I don't even like. I'm not trying to get over. I just want this to be done. So yeah. All right, let's hit this last little part. They say that it's possible that Contra Blessings arose as a rejoinder to a then famous poem by Cuthbert Shaw. In 1770, an evening address to a nightingale, James Henry Dirk of 1852, and in my book, he adopts a similar tone where they say basically that it's a rebound from Contra Sorrows and Contra Troubles. So the only reason why Contra Blessings came to be is because Contra Troubles and Contra Sorrows was in like 18 different books, well-read books. And so somebody came with like, well, Contra Blessings too. So actually, I know 20 said references earlier, the phrase became a familiar mainly because of Irving Berlin's song Contra Blessings, which is Contra Blessings instead of sheep. And that comes from the movie White Christmas in 1954. And then Bing Crosby made a version, Rosemary Clooney made a version, Eddie Fisher made a version. And the line goes, was first heard originally called When Upon Life's Billow, but that didn't stick. Because the song says Contra Blessings all the time. It says Contra Blessings, name them one by one. Contra Blessings, see what God hath done. Contra Blessings, name them one by one. Contra Blessings, count your many blessings, see what God has done. And that stuck in the White Christmas. That stuck. So before we get up out of here, y'all, just kind of similar to what Dr. Shae just said, we're gonna do what the song says. We're gonna do what the song says before we get out of here. So what number did I put? 3. Just 3. Give me 3 blessings you can count. You can count on right now, or you typically can always rely on. 3 blessings. I can start if y'all want to get some time. I'll start. So the first one, I can always count on the blessing of like, what my mother's impact. Like, I count that blessing. You said like that skill set. Like, I tell people all the time, anything you like about me comes from my mom. And I literally count that blessing. Like, that's a blessing. Like, anytime people are really fucking with me, I count that blessing. I count the blessing of my healthy body as I can, you know what I'm saying? And I count the blessing of fatherhood, to be totally honest, because it helped firm up the shape of me, who I thought I was, my silhouette. It firmed that right up. So I count those blessings. Like, thank you for even just like the opportunity to be a father, because it is impacting other parts of my life outside of like the things that come with fatherhood, like the adjacent things in my life. So those are my 3. Dr. Shae.
Shae, you can go ahead.
So one of my my to Mario, one of the things that I'm always grateful for is literally just parenthood. It's like being my mom used to say this all the time, and I'd be like, it's really cool to hear her say, but she would say, because my mom identifies as a Christian, she's a Black Christian woman, but she would always say, like, I thank God for allowing me to be your earthly parent. And I'd be like, that's pretty cool. So I've kind of taken that on where, like, I really do, like, I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to, like, raise my son and, you know, hope that I do the best job that I can do. That's one thing I'm grateful for, is no matter how challenging it is. And know how many times I'm like, you know what, I can, you know, struggling. That's one thing. The other thing that I honestly think, like, I'm really thankful for, I count as a blessing, is like my cognitive capacity. Like, just my ability to like think for myself, to like, you know where I am. I think just in my line of work or in my profession, I've like had a lot of experiences where, like, just seeing how that, like, you could cognitively just not be there. So I'm so thankful for that, because I think that's something that we, you know, all can take for granted. But another thing that, or lastly, one thing that I'm thankful for is like social support. So literally the availability of people. You know, I think
that's a real one.
Yeah, that's like, because now this might be kind of wild, y'all, but sometimes I think about, like, what if like social support wasn't a thing, you know?
I know. Well, people was like it really was dog eat dog.
Some people,
it really ain't.
Some people, it's not a thing. Some people, it's not a thing. So
being so having it, like having y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I think about even a relationship I had with y'all, like it's wild, because before this I was thinking about, I'm like, man, I've only been in person with you guys like twice. But like, I feel connected to y'all. We can get on here and chop it up. We can talk about other stuff, you know? So like, just being able to have that, like, for me, like, that's cool, you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No.
Thank you for saying
agree.
that. That's dope.
Definitely
Hell yeah.
agree.
20, what you got for us?
Man.
I'm feeling good.
No, I think I should have went first, because I felt like I don't want to be stealing shit. No, I'm blessed. No, listen, I am totally blessed to have became a father. I mean, like, that was one of the pivotal times in my life where it kind of like, all right, we about to make this right, and we about to go down this journey right here. So it's been a blessing ever since. I don't want to sound too sappy, but man, me and Mario's relationship has grown so much to the point where I really see it as a blessing in my life. Not only because, beautiful, you know, we have this brand that we're building together, but man, like, it's like, on top of that, we're still able to talk to each other as friends. And it's just like, sometimes when business is involved, or money, or whatever the case may be, you kind of lose that you kind of lose that in that relationship. And I'm so thankful that that's one thing that it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful for that. And just like you said, Mario, my parenting, like, I'm super blessed to have, you know, both parents in my life that really do have great heads on their shoulder, that still push family first, that still push, like, you know, being there for their children. So they still give me the guidance and examples that I need still to this day, not just as I grow up. And because some parents, you know, once you're 18, that's all I got for you.
Out.
But still to this day, my parents are still showing me how to be a better father, be a better family member to, you know, not just my siblings, but to, you know, everybody that I'll call family. So those are, I would say, those are my blessings, is, you know, my family, my children, and definitely, you know, my friendships.
Man, y'all are, thank you. That's what I wanted to do. I'm like, we getting there. And so with that, with what that just did, this whole journey, and then what we just did at the end, actually counting them, let's grade the phrase. Let's appraise this phrase. So Dr. Shae, this is how we do it. It's three categories. Okay, so the power grade, the impact when you say it, does it hit when it's heard? Then you got the speed. Does it flow off the tongue? Is it easy to say? Is it eloquent? And then we got your rating based on any preference you want to lean towards, however you want to do it. A through F, you can do pluses and minuses, A being the best, F being absolutely terrible. 20, can you start us off today with power, bro?
Oh yeah, definitely I can do power today.
Thank you, man.
Power, I'll give it. Now, this is what I'll give it a B, almost B minus, but I'm feeling good. This is season 4. I'm gonna give it a B, only because when we first mentioned it, it was more Count Your Troubles. You get what I'm saying? And then it kind of evolved into Count Your Blessings. But me personally, I feel like if it was, it had to be changed. Just on just the energy and the negative aspect about it, but still, like, you can say that to somebody and still react. Somebody still get a reaction out of it, whether it's good or bad. I still don't know whether it's a positive thing or not. I'll be honest with you. I still got a couple more thoughts about it to see if it's positive. But for Power, yeah, I'll give it more of a B, just because it does have an effect on people. But the fact of the matter that it had to be changed from troubles to to blessings, and then I guess blessings stick because that's a little bit more positive.
Yeah, heard that. All right, I'm gonna go speed. Count Your Blessings. I think it sounds awesome. I think it's easy to say, and it's sweet. Like, it's actually easy, like tastes good to say, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't feel like, I think that's part of why it can be negative, because it doesn't ever feel bad to say. You know what I'm saying? You can say it quickly and doesn't ever really feel bad. So I got to give it an A+ on that, on just like the speed of it. So I'm gonna give it A+.
Yeah, I hear that.
All right, Dr. Shae, you get to grade it however you want for whatever reason. Just let us know what the grade is and why.
So I'm gonna, honestly, y'all, I'm gonna say an A. Simply because I think that like even what we just did, like doing it in the moment and thinking about like what we're grateful for, is probably going to impact our day in a positive way. And so for that alone, I think is like, that's a reason for us to like have that as a practice, So I'm gonna give it an A. I'm going with A.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I actually, if I would have did the Power, but like my overall general thoughts is that the opportunity for it to be negative seems to be so circumstantial, but the practice of it, the act of it, still beats that. Like, even if you receive it negatively, if you're good enough with yourself or the person that said it to you to overcome that negativity and take the advice, you better off for it still. So like, I lean towards it's good because you can get the good out of the bad of it.
Yeah, and I feel like the only reason why I couldn't get the A from me, Mario, is because it started off as Count Your Troubles.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And truth be told, like to that point, which is why I do this show, and we do this show, and I love this show, is because it was directly connected to, you could count your troubles, but count your blessings for somebody else's sake.
Exactly.
Which is like, that's not feeling good.
Exactly.
Because nobody really, the actual count your blessings is personal, so it's not count your blessings for someone else's sake. No one is actually doing that. I don't count my blessings so that my mom can feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? So, word. Woo! We got one more thing to go. So I'm gonna pass it to 20 for
the Dictionary of Misinformation.
Yo, listen, this we got to figure out how we can market this, man. I'm telling you, like, because this is such a great segment, man. Like, just giving people this information that they've been misinformed about. It's such a great thing, man. It's really fun. Obviously, definitely one of my favorites. So, without further ado, Dr. Shae, can you give us a letter, any letter other than X, so we can go ahead and try to inform you about some misinformation?
Give you a letter?
Yes, ma'am. From like A through Z, except for X, because it's been taken. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through the dictionary of misinformation, and we're going to give you like a bit of the information that majority of everyone has been misinformed about.
Okay, so any letter.
Any letter.
Okay. What about D?
Let's do D. Most people don't do the ones that actually have, they want to find some. All right, here we go.
This is good.
Thank you.
I'm intrigued. I want to know.
Now, once we give you this information, there ain't no room for argument. No.
Yeah, we actually. Okay, look. Hey, how about this one?
Ain't no room for argument.
All right. No, I thought. Oh God. Okay. Daddy long legs. You ready? D for daddy long legs. The creatures usually called daddy long legs are not spiders. They have the right number of legs, 8, but their legs are far longer and thinner than those of true spiders. In addition, the daddy long legs lacks the constriction, which in spiders divides the body into 2 segments. The long legs are in fact a useful accessory. Like certain automobiles, which can jack themselves up by means of a central hydraulic system, the daddy long legs can, and without the benefit of the hydraulics, raise his one-piece body high enough above the ground to avoid ants. So like in bug world, this non-spider be walking down the street and an ant come and he be like choo and keep walking and go back down. The daddy long legs is not a spider, and the legs are purely so he can like strut down the block.
Step over niggas.
Stepping over niggas AI.
And keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Hey, we did it. Dr. Shae, I want to thank you. Any final words you want to send the folks off with?
No, well, I just want to, thank y'all for letting me be here. Mm-hmm. I know that everybody who listens to you guys know this, but y'all are phenomenal men. Man, y'all are phenomenal. So I'm just glad to know y'all.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate that.
Thank you so much. We're glad to know you. And that's how we know. We try to be men of value, but when we come across other people of value, that's when we know we're doing it.
Yeah. So. Yes. I hope I can affirm that. If it doesn't, because I know that doesn't happen often. So, but y'all are phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. 20, what you gonna leave him with?
Hey, listen, man. Honestly, as a phenomenal man, I just want to say, listen, man.
That's hilarious.
You can't take that from me. You can't take it from me.
You can't take it from me. My dog. I love you so much, man. Dr. Shae, I appreciate you. We're going to have you back. We're going to have you at some live events too. And we want to come support anything you got going on. What the rest of y'all can do, you can find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're brought to you by the Underdog Podcast Network. YouTube for the visuals. Go rock with our digital partners as well. We got appraisethephrase.com. Go to appraisethephrase.com/shop. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, so you do want to buy a journal. And even if it ain't, write your feelings, write your thoughts, and make sure you're taking care of those that love you. And please never forget that value is in the eye of the appraiser. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace. Yeah, like